My guest has many parts. He's a member of parliament, he's a lawyer, he is also a former minister of state. He served two portfolios, information and sports. There was also environment at the point. You were deputy. Honorable Mahama Ayariga, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm okay.
How is Boko?
Sad. It's unfortunate.
I see you're wearing a smoke because you're in Accra. If you like, go and wear it in Boko and see it's been banned. But this is like the culture, right? The smoke is a culture for the people.
Yeah, I mean, that's a traditional way to dress. Even though a lot of us now are either Muslim or Christian and, cosmopolitan, so we will dress anyway, but this is the traditional way to dress.
Okay. I'll come, let's talk about Boko, the strategic location of Boko being a business hub, the troubles and how that's affecting communal life, the tragedies that we heard about the death of people. But you were once a minister for sports. When you saw the Black Stars go to the AFCON, did you have any hope, or you knew we were going to come back prematurely?
It's unfortunate that we've come back so early in the tournament, and it's even more embarrassing because as I go around the sub-region, one thing that people associate Ghana with is football. Believe it or not, people still associate Ghana with football. And so in a continental tournament, they expect Ghana to at least perform very well. But to have small countries unknown with no track record in football to keep humiliating Ghana the way that we have been humiliated in this tournament really damages the brand of Ghana as a football nation. We'll do a lot to be able to recover from this kind of damage. But as they prepared and they left, I had occasions to encourage the Minister for Youth and Sports and to urge him to listen to the footballers. When I was Minister for Youth and Sports, to tell you the truth, I didn't know much about football. Honestly, I didn't know much about football.
You're not a football fan?
Not a fan per se. I mean, I watch football if I was sitting by television and they were playing it. If Ghana was playing a match, I would watch. But if you ask me about the European League, I knew next to nothing about it.
You didn't know about tactical?
You asked me about Spanish League, I didn't know what was happening there. If you ask me the formation of a football team playing, I probably won't be able to tell you where number 3 is standing, where number 9 is standing.
I was thinking I was the only one in Ghana or in the world who was like that. I'm happy.
The interesting thing is that the night before I was announced as Minister for Youth and Sports, I received a call around midnight from the Chief of Staff who said, Ayariga, yes, your brother says tomorrow you are going to Youth and Sports. And this was a call around midnight.
This was Julius Debra?
No, it was before Julius Debra assumed. Prosper Bani. So he called and said, your brother says tomorrow you are going to Youth and Sports. I said, oh, Chief, I don't know anything about football. I've never even gone into Accra Sports Stadium to watch a football match. Then he said, oh, don't worry. He didn't say you should go and play the ball yourself. He said you should go and then offer leadership.
And manage it.
So we laughed about it. And then the following morning, I woke up to the announcement that I was now Minister for Youth and Sports. And if you recall, we had just...
Wait, was that your first senior ministerial position?
No,
I was
at information.
So you moved information to...
I was moved from information to Youth and Sports. And we had just returned from Brazil and all the problems. The debacle. And then at that time, a commission of inquiry had been appointed, and the commission was sitting on the issue of Brazil. And so football was very much in the air and the issue. And so for me, the AFCON of that year, 2015, was an opportunity to try and redeem the image of the Black Stars.
The sold image from Brazil.
Exactly. That for me was the challenge. And I will say that they did well. They succeeded in doing that because they went up to the finals. And even the finals, if you recall, it was the penalty that resolved the issue. And even the penalty was finally the shots by the two goalkeepers that resolved the issue. That's how far we went.
So Ghanaians would understand and be like, we have done our best.
And if you look at the lineup of the Ivorian team at that time against the Ghanaian team, with Asamoah, who was injured but was just playing to try and redeem the situation, they came back with people really applauding and saying, okay, you didn't take the cup, but you did everything humanly possible to take the cup.
So there was a concession, or there was a consolidation in the minds of...
Exactly. And I think that if we had built on that in terms of our performance, I believe by now we would have gone very far. But after that, when I left, the coach that we appointed kept complaining about not receiving the kind of support and encouragement that he received when we were there. The technical team wasn't receiving the kind of support that, because I was there when the coach was appointed, and I knew the background to his appointment, and I was there when the technical team of the coach was constituted, and I had extensive discussions with him, and I understood why the technical team needed to be there. And I was the one who actually instructed that the technical team must be well remunerated, because I worked with them in Equatorial Guinea and I saw the value of a very good technical team. If you recall, Ghana had lost the first match, and the second match was against Algeria. And if they had lost against Algeria, they would have been coming home. And everybody predicted that Algeria would beat Ghana. Because at that time...
People were still angry.
Yeah, they were so angry. But then also the reality was that Algeria had a formidable team. Mm-hmm. But, when we got on the ground, Yantechi was very effective in talking to the team. I was there to provide all the logistics and the encouragement that the team needed. And, they managed to overcome Algeria. And then they just kept winning. They kept winning until the finals.
Does it mean that...
If you recall, we were attacked in the stadium in Malabo. Yeah. I mean, when we were playing against the host nation. And the match commissioner had to even end the match, I think in the first or second half.
Is it money? Do you have to always throw money at the players and the technical team? Is that what needs to be done consistently and constantly?
The first thing that you need to respond to is the best technical direction and the best coaching. Those are two non-negotiable things. Good coaching and excellent technical direction. The reason is that these players play in Europe, and they know a good coach from a bad coach. They know a good technical team from a bad technical team. And they are used to being given excellent technical direction to bring out the best in them. And so if they get on the pitch and then they are not getting the right technical direction, they could be talented, but they're just not getting the right technical direction. They're not getting the right coaching. And so Yantichi and I, our focus at that time was to get them a coach that they believed in and were excited about and trusted. And if you recall, there was this issue about, nationalism and the Ghanaian coach and etc. at that time. And then in the discussions that ensued, we said, okay, let's leave the coach, but let's get him the best technical support. And then the coach said, no, he didn't need technical support. And then the GFA said, look, we're not sure about your competencies as a coach. We think you need backup technical support. And you say you don't want technical support. Okay, then you have to leave the job. And that's how come he left. It was because he raised issues about technical support that they felt he must get.
He didn't want to.
Yeah. So they fixed the issue of coaching, and then they fixed the issue of technical support. I mean, I personally, witnessed every single strategy meeting before they went into a match. And I saw what technical direction does. And sitting there and watching the ball, I knew the direction because I was there when they were giving.
So you can sense what the plan is.
I can sense what the plan is.
And where you're headed.
Where you're headed. And especially what really made me to understand football was our finals with Ivory Coast. Because the coach sat me down and explained the challenges of Black Stars. At that time, the Black Stars didn't have good scorers. Okay? Stars that could score easily, apart from Asamoah. Dede was there, but Dede good, hardworking, but he wasn't really the kind of person who could easily score a goal. And the Ivorians had about 5 who could easily score. So he says, so my task in this match is to prevent their 5 from scoring.
So defense.
So this is going to be the strategy. And he said, but my strength is that I have young boys who can run. So what I'm going to do is to make sure they run for 90 minutes.
Outrunning the opponent.
Outrunning the opponent. And because these stars are older, they can't run as much. So all I'm going to do is just keep my boys running throughout the match. 90 minutes they're going to be running. And so he told me how you will make sure that your opponent just keeps running. And if you watched, they played the 90 minutes in such a way that their 5 stars couldn't score, but Asamoah was too sick to score. Because Asamoah was sick and we had flown him to Mongomo for medical treatment. There were some Cubans there. They treated him and he came back. But the coach insisted on putting him as part of the squad to play because he felt that his presence in the field has an effect on the opponent. Not that he could really play, but it was a morale. So I saw firsthand what technical direction does.
You are the politician. The Minister for Sports currently is a politician. The government of Ghana has no control necessarily over the GFA. If you interfere so much, FIFA would come in and then make some noise. There seems to be a back and forth between what happens to Milovan. Now, media reports and very credible ones have already said the man has been fired. The GFA has not spoken yet. How do you navigate that complex situation of firing a coach whom you pay even though you didn't sign a contract with?
Well, I was a politician there, but in all honesty, I took the approach that I didn't know anything about football. Each time I met the GFA people, I said, look, I don't know football. You are the ones who know football. My job is to offer leadership. And mine is to make sure that whatever logistics you need, you get it. Okay? And to also fight to ensure that everybody plays his or her role without one trying to, unnecessarily control the other. Now, ordinarily, when it comes to football, the state really has no right to interfere in what the GFA is doing. But interestingly, with national teams, that's not really the case. With national teams, they are national assets, and they are supposed to be managed together with the sports authority. So their budget and everything is managed by the sports authority, not the GFA. When you go to a tournament, GFA doesn't hold money. It is the sports authority, yes, that goes with the team and manages the finances and accounts for the resources. So it's not so much about, exercising authority. It's about working together, collaborating, thinking together, understanding what everybody needs, and trying to make sure that you provide for that. And I had an excellent stay there because Yantachi was my senior at the law school. I had known him since my days as a student. I had related to him as a senior brother. And even when I was at the ministry, I treated him as a senior brother. Okay. And so I had no occasion to fight with Yantachi at all. Because I admitted that I didn't know football. I admitted that they were the experts. Mine was just to see what I could do by way of providing them with the needed logistics. And they would always come to me and ask.
This is the third time you're mentioning Yantachi in this conversation. It's fair I bring him up. When the Black Stars were sent home, his name trended on the social media platform for a number of days. People said if Yantachi was still our GFA president, we wouldn't face the problem that we are facing now. I mean, people have dubious reasons for believing that he was the guy who we needed. Others had genuine reasons. Others thought that he would have been involved in dark magic to help us go through. What's your personal view? That it is the current managers of Ghana football who let us down?
Let me be frank with you. I still don't know much about football. I left it when I was leaving the ministry.
Okay.
And I'm being very frank.
Yeah, you said
I still don't know much about football.
No, it's same here.
I left it when I was leaving the ministry.
Okay.
When they said pack and leave sports, I packed
you
and actually left the football behind me. So if you ask me who are the present managers of football in the country, I really don't know, to be frank with you. I don't even know the current president of the GFA. I haven't met him one-on-one. Okay, I mean, I know him the way that all of us know him in the media, see him on television, hear him talk on radio, but one-on-one, I really don't know him. So I cannot be unfair to him by attributing the situation to him, even though, of course, as leader, he will take the flak for whatever has happened. Yantechi, I knew him very well. Like I said, I knew him as far back as when I was a student at the law faculty and beyond. Even before he got involved in football, I knew Yantechi. I was surprised when he even contested for GFA president. I was like, but Yantechi, you when you and football when? And he was like, oh, my brother, don't worry. And then he was there. He gathered a lot of experience.
Which means
and he built a good relationship with the team and with his political, leaders at that time. So we worked very well. I don't know how the current president works with his colleagues in the GFA, with the coaches and the technical team and the boys. Look, let me tell you something. At the end of the day, when the boys get on the pitch, I mean, the players get on the pitch. We call them boys because they're all our younger brothers.
No, it's fine. You can say boys. That's how the football people speak.
Yes,
you are speaking the football language.
Yes. When the boys get on the pitch, sometimes they are playing not just for their country and for themselves, they are playing for personalities. There were times when, before a match, I'll call Asamoah and Dede, and I'll ask them, Charlie, this match, what do we need to really ginger up the boys to put up their best? And then they will say, oh, one of them, he had a problem with his bill. He played some time and got injured and went back to Europe, and then he paid for his medical bills. And since then, GFA and the ministry have not paid him, reimbursed him for the bill. You need to talk to that guy. Something as simple as that. Then I would say, okay, go and tell him that I will make sure his bill is reimbursed. He should do whatever he can to help you people to win this match. Something's personal to them. Personal to them.
It has to be with their it's true. I
yes.
Get
so you have to build that personal relationship with them. Look, before I even went out to the tournament with them, I invited some of them home, had lunch with some of them privately, asked them what was the problem in Brazil. And they said, oh, Minister, there was no problem in Brazil. It was just respect. I said, respect? Yeah, we're not respected. I said, oh, how are you not respected? So we don't play for money. So we don't play for money. But if you tell us you are giving us money, give it to us. But they're not playing for money. Okay? So the idea that they have come, they are happy to be part of the national team and to participate in the most, prestigious tournament, the World Cup, was enough. But if you told them that if you win this match, we will give you $10,000 each, and then they go and win, and then you don't give them the $10,000, it becomes a problem. What kind of treatment is that?
Would it be fair if I asked you whether you think it's good that Milo has been sacked or not, or right now you don't know?
Actually, I don't even know Milo.
If you were the...
So I've heard his name. I've heard his name as the coach of the Black Stars. I know he used to be our coach some time ago, and they went and brought him back. He's a guy who doesn't speak English.
Yes, he comes with his own translator.
That was an issue that came up because when we were trying to recruit a coach, he was one of those who applied. If you recall, in 2015, he applied. But the issue was language. It's like, okay, if he doesn't speak the language, he has to come with a translator, and then you have to pay the translator.
In this instance, he's paying the translator this time round.
Oh, but it will be factored into his pay. I mean, it's just a rule.
If I ask you to name the three players who were on the pitch,
I don't know anything.
I'm
being very frank.
Asamoah is no more there.
I know. I watched him. He was. Oh, Dede is my very good friend. Dede's father is my friend, so I go to their house and all that.
Okay, and then you can mention Thomas Partey.
Yeah, I hear the names, but
and then there's a third one down. Nobody knows his name. He's called number 23.
Oh, why?
This is Face to Face on Citi TV. My name is Umaru Sanda. My guest is Honorable Mahama Ayariga. He's a former Minister for Sports. I was testing his knowledge on the Black Stars. He's as poor as me, and it's fine. When we come back, we'll talk about something he and I understand quite well, the rancor in Parliament, and we have a conversation on Boko. Don't worry.